So starting off the season, my sits were extremely slow. I don't know why, but I couldn't get the deer to move. So I decided that I was going to go to all my old trusty spots, and I was just going to simultaneously scout while sitting and see if there wasn't a good deer in the area, or at least some does that I could get into that were patternable.
Well, just got in here real late, so I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. It's October 28th. I actually took the day off of work today so I could help my dad do a little bit of work that he needed to help with. The family company I used to work for, and I told him one of my stipulations was that I was off early enough that I could go hunting tonight. Well, we got done about 4 o'clock, so I didn't have time to shower down or anything like that. I feel like my scent control is just crappy. I slid into this stand. I'm on a fence row in between standing corn and cut corn. Problem is, I can't hunt the cut corn. This is kind of a corner that they prefer that side of the fence anyway, but every once in a while, just like you guys saw with the blind eye buck, they'll come down this side of the fence and give me an opportunity. So I still got a doe tag. I got my anti-sex tag, so there's not much in here that I've seen on camera that's worth chasing, but I did get a picture of an old scrapper about 10 yards away from this tree stand at like 6 o'clock in the morning, a couple mornings ago. So let's hope that we can at least lay eyes on him, see what he is. If not, maybe another mature buck will come strolling by. You just never know. October 28th, it's about to get crazy, so looking forward to it.
So I slid up the tree, and as I'm setting up my camera arm and getting my bow all ready, I knew my plan had worked. I look over in the corner of the other cornfield, and there's already does starting to pour out, which is kind of typical for this tree stand. I see a lot of deer, but a lot of the deer just so happen to be on the opposite side of the fence, and I can't shoot that direction. So it's one of those places where you can see a long ways. It's on an excellent funnel, but you just have to wait for your opportunity for them to be on the correct side of the fence. And any of you that have ever hunted in that kind of a situation, you empathize with me. I actually told the landowner, I said, my trophy room would look a whole heck of a lot different if I had permission to shoot across that fence. And he hunts himself. We kind of joke and we work together, but it's always a friendly competition. Doesn't matter how close you are with your landowner friends or anything like that. Anybody that hunts next to you or whatever, it's always kind of a friendly competition. So this day just so happened to be my day. I don't know what it was, but I had a doe that read the script. She hopped a fence right into a window at 25 yards. All that was playing through my head was Courtney saying we needed deer meat.
Yes. Yes. There's my freezer meat, baby. There is my freezer meat. Oh man, I had to shoot her a little quartering toward. She had me kind of pegged. I'm kind of sticking out like a sore thumb in this tree. And I wanted to take a crack at her right when she crossed the fence, but she kind of moved a little quick. So I'm going to review the footage real quick on the camera. I didn't hear her crash, but I kind of know where she was running to, and I don't think she made it very dang far. That sever sounded like it got right in the goodies, so whew, feels good to get the jitters out. Took me till the 28th of October to get a shot at that doe. So
Immediately, the thought crossed my mind. I was like, you know what? I'm going to slip down. I have to drive home. I have to go get the side-by-side. I have to talk with the landowner, let him know I'm going to be there a little late. And I actually was texting my dad again, and I said, hey, I shot a doe. You know, I ended up going where you thought I should go, and took your advice. It worked out. Thank you. He said, immediately, he said, well, you're not getting down, are you? And I said, well, yeah, I was thinking about it. And he said, Jake, I've got an eerie feeling about tonight. Sit tight. And again, I kind of shook it off, and I started thinking about all the things I should do. And I actually started packing up some of my things. And I got about a quarter of the way in, and it hit home again. And I couldn't believe it, but I unpacked everything again, and I sat back down, loaded another arrow, and I said, all right, we're going to see if he's right again. So I'm sitting there, it's getting kind of close to dark, and I hadn't seen very many deer. You know, the field cleared when I harvested that doe, and I hadn't seen much. And I looked over, and just out of the corner of the cornfield, I could see a deer, and I could see its feet, and just, you know, looking up its body, I knew it was a buck. Didn't know what kind of a buck, but I flipped around, and I turned one camera on, and I looked around. I said, yeah, that's a pretty good deer there. I didn't know what he really was. I was just getting a side profile, and he was about 100 yards away. And I looked at him through the binos, and I said, man, that might be a shooter. And then he turned towards me, and there was not a second thought in my brain again as soon as he turned towards me.
I'm telling you right now, I gotta sit down. I gotta sit down. No way did that just happen. And I think I made a good enough shot. I didn't get a whole lot of penetration. I'm really worried about that. I think I just doubled. I think I just doubled. And that is the biggest deer. That'll be a personal best for me. Oh, I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. I am not kidding you. Oh, I can't even believe this. I haven't had a good deer on here in camera all year. I know what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna calm my nerves a little bit. And I'm going that way. I'm getting out of here right now. I shot a doe earlier in the evening. And I know I didn't make the best shot, but I think that I heard him pile up right over there. I'm not kidding. I cannot believe that just happened. Me and the X, me and the X, baby, me and the X. Oh my goodness, I am so glad that my dad talked me into going tonight. I wasn't going to go because I knew I was going to get in late. I am telling you what, that is a big deer. That is a big deer, and I hope that I smoked him. Stay tuned on that one, boys and girls, because that is a big deer right there. Right there, that's a big deer. Let me hang this baby up.
So I make the shot, and he hops the fence, and immediately what started playing in my mind is that I made a terrible shot. I don't know why I thought that, but I thought that it was the worst shot in the world. I was beating myself up. And then I look, and I'm looking through the camera lens, and I can see blood just pouring out of this deer. And then he hops another fence, and I thought I heard him crash. And then the adrenaline rush came, and I was ecstatic. I knew that this was going to be my biggest deer to date, and I knew that he'd be laying right on the other side of that fence. And I was just more excited that it was almost like my dad was in the tree with me. You know, he told me that I should go there. He told me that I should sit tight, and he taught me everything I know. You know, him and I actually set up that tree stand about 5 years ago, and I've been fortunate enough to have some great hunts out of it, and I'm looking forward to having some more. God, you were the blood master, man. Blood clear up here. See it? So we find the doe within a few minutes. She was exactly where I thought she was. And fortunately, we were able to drive the side by side about 20 yards from her. And so we only had to drag her about 20 yards, and into the back of the side by side she went. We go to the fence where I shot this deer, and I knew exactly where he crossed both fences. And I still was kind of questioning the shot a little bit. Everybody that I know that had seen the shot and seen the video, they all told me that he was totally dead. I had nothing to worry about. But in the back of my mind, that worry was still there. So we pick up the blood trail, and through a chisel plowed cornfield, you could see this blood trail. I can't tell you enough about how much Sever has made up for this marginal shot, but usually when you hit a deer a little high, it takes a while to bleed. And as soon as that deer hopped that fence, you could walk and follow this blood trail across this chiseled field. And we got to the next fence crossing, and I said, guys, I heard him crash. He's got to be right up here within 50 yards. Next thing I know, we go across the creek and back across the creek, and we're following just this amazing blood trail. But we're 250 yards into the track, and there's no sign of this deer. So I start to get worried. We're looking at the footage in the timber in the dark. I'm like, guys, should we back out? You know, obviously the daylight's going to be a little bit easier, But if he is, you know, the coyotes are bad in this area, and if he expired, he's going to be eaten up by tomorrow morning. Not only that, but the temperatures were a little higher than I would like them to be to leave a deer overnight. So we decided, since the blood was so good, that we were just going to keep following it.
There's my blinky knock. Is that him?
That's Blinky Knock.
Oh, looks like he shucked my arrow.
Oh, that's still in him then. Part of your arrow.
There's absolutely no way that he lived through that.
No.
No way. Turned and did a loop-de-doo. There he is. There he is. Boys, I wasn't kidding when I said I shot a stud, dude.
That is, oh.
Dude, I told you.
He's better than I thought he was.
Man. Dude, and he is stiff. He's been here for hours. Oh. Oh, dude. It's already too stiff for me to move around. Dude, when I first saw him, I saw this side. I was like, oh, that's a pretty good deer. And then he turned, and I saw this side, and I was like, that's a really good deer. I should probably kill him.
So we had a heck of a drag coming. And thank goodness for Ian and Goody, because I don't think I could have made that drag by myself. We got him up and out of there, and once he was on back where I had permission, we really admired him. And he is a very special deer, a deer that I had history with that I didn't even realize that I had history with. I had a couple pictures of him before, I believe going all the way back to 2019. I had an encounter with him opening day out of that same tree stand of 2021. And he was a good deer then, and it kind of set the tone for my 2021 season. So kind of bringing that all together was a very special moment on a special farm on a special day.